Jimmy here, Grain to Train, another video blog, Motivation Monday. I'm pretty excited. I love motivation. If you follow my post over the last year or so, you know I'm a big motivation guy. The mindset is everything. So today what I want to talk about is standards. And I really, learned this concept from Tony Robbins, great motivational speaker, one of my favorites. Great material. If you haven't checked this stuff out, please do. To really help you, kind of get focused and shift your perspective to where it needs to be to get what you want in life. One big thing he always talks about is your standard. So what does he mean by that? Most people, for example, they have a really high standard for being up with the jump, like the latest technology. They'll have the latest phone, the latest tablet, the newest TV, the newest gaming system. They'll stay up to date on everything. That's their standard. They don't want to be left behind. They want to feel that they're on the top of the technology world. Same thing with shoes. I know people with a whole basement full of shoes. It looks like a Michael Jordan museum. And that's cool. That's their thing. That's their standard. They refuse to ever walk around with old, dirty, outdated shoes. They want a nice shoe collection. So they spend a lot of money on shoes. Again, that's okay. Now, why am I talking about standards? Well, the same concept applies when it comes to your health. And unfortunately, most people have a very low standard when it comes to health. Well, how do I know that? Look at how many obese people are. Look at how many people are on medication. Look at the state of health that's in this country today. It's awful. And that's because the standard for their health is so low, and they don't even realize it. Obviously, nobody says, yeah, I want to be sick on medication. In fact, nobody consciously thinks that. But how you know it's not they don't have a high standard? Because they don't make the changes. They don't, they don't exercise. They don't eat the right foods. They're okay with eating processed junk, eating, sugary desserts, popping bottles, drinking beer every day. They're okay with that. That's their standard. When it comes to their health, they're okay with being, below average because, they're alive. They're under a doctor's care, inactive, feel like garbage, but they're alive. And they're okay with that. As long as they got, their Joneses, their shoes, their gadgets, their, get to go out on the weekends and all those things that they do have a high standard for. As long as they got that, they're happy. Now, people ask me all the time, Jimmy, how do you stay so disciplined over here? How are you so strong? How you do this? How you do that? How you work out the way that you do? My health, I have a very, very, very high standard for. And knowing that, I don't let anything compromise my standard. So that's how I can go to the gym and I won't do a half-assed workout. I'm going to give it everything I got. Some workouts are good, some are bad, but no, whatever energy I have that day, I'll put my all into it. I'm not going to consistently miss workouts. My standard is I'm going to get my workouts in for the week. That's how I am. That's how I've operated the last 15 years since I started working out when I was in high school. Same thing with food. I'm not going to go to the grocery store and buy cheap groceries. I'm going to go to the grocery stores that sell the high quality groceries. I'm going to go to the grocery stores that has their own butcher with locally raised cows. I'm going to buy cage-free eggs. I'm going to buy organic produce. I'm going to spend that extra money on those things because that's my standard. I refuse to settle for less because I know what my standard is. My health is my biggest priority. And that's how I'm able to stay so disciplined, so focused, able to be consistent with this healthy lifestyle. Because I will not compromise, I won't settle for anything less than my best when it comes to my health. And most people don't have that same mindset. Again, they're okay with living an unhealthy lifestyle as long as they're alive. That's their standard. And it shouldn't be that way. You should not be placing technology over your own body. It shouldn't be that way. I'm not talking about having a six-pack stomach. I'm not talking about walking around flexing biceps. I'm talking about eating better quality foods, being active so you're not under a doctor's care. So as you get older, technically by years, you're still feeling good, you're still energized, you're still moving around, still active. That's what it's about. Forget all that other stuff, trying to be an Instagram model. That's irrelevant. We're talking about health. And if you don't raise your standard of health, you're going to wind up in situations where people with low standards have on medication, chronic illnesses, doctor's care, and ultimately towards the later years in your life, unfortunately, somebody else taking care of you. You know, what did it for me, I've shared this story a few times on the blog, but if you haven't heard it, what really upped my standard was when I was 19 years old. I had to do volunteer work at a retirement home. And what I saw in there was really disturbing. I saw people there being left for dead. I saw people sick in bed, you know, being pumped with medication. You know, I talked with elderly people whose family pretty much abandoned them. They hadn't had visitors in months. You know, family may come see them, you know, once every 6 months, twice a year. That's no way to, you know, end your life. You shouldn't be bedridden. You know, and I told myself, I will never, ever live this way. And I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure that doesn't happen. Eating right, exercising, you know, not doing drugs, you know, not binging on alcohol, you know, that's not my thing, because I know what I want to do. My standard is so high. I want to be active many, many years from now, many rest of my life. I want to be active. I want to be moving around. I want to feel good. That's my standard. Okay, you can have that same standard as well if you really sit down and make that decision that I want to do better, that I don't want to be, you know, on prescription drugs, that I don't want to be riding around a grocery store on a motor scooter because I'm too heavy to walk, that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Once you make that decision and elevate your standard, you decide what you won't settle for, then you'll begin to really be excited about, you know, doing this fitness lifestyle. You know, if you need any advice on that, feel free to hit us up. You know, we're very accessible. We have, you know, ingrainedtotrain.com. You can email us, send us a message on Facebook, Ingrained to Train, direct message on Instagram, Ingrained to Train, or on Twitter, JimmyI2T. And we thank you again for all your support, and I look forward to, you know, help you out as much as I can. Thanks.